So I was showing homes to a young couple. They were first-time home buyers. And I remember it was at night and we were standing outside and they were concerned about the rates. They were going up and they were thinking of just stopping their search altogether. And I said, well, okay, hold on. I said, are you familiar with the 2-1 buy down? And they said no. And I said, well, let me explain what that is for you. And I explained how in the first year, if the rates are currently at 7%, that the first year they would be at 5%. And then the year after that, they go up to 6%. And then on the third year, they go back up to their original rate that they were locked in at. However, in the event that the rates come tumbling down or even slightly down, they could refinance. And they really like that. It was just a win-win for them just because they would be able to have a credit at closing that would help them. The money that they're getting from the buy down goes into escrow, so whatever they don't use, they can use that towards their refinance. So recently I was just at a listing appointment and we're talking about our services and so forth that William Raveis can provide to the clients. They said, well, what about with the interest rates, coming up? How is that going to affect buyers looking at our house? And I said, well, I'm glad that you asked that. I said, because I just had a successful 2-1 buy down story with first-time home buyers. And it really worked out well for them to get into a home that they did not think that they would be able to afford, and they were able to afford it. And it's a win-win for the sellers. We're educating the sellers to understand the offers that are coming over with that language in there. And the buyer's agents can educate their clients to put an offer in on your home. So it's a win-win situation for both sides. So it's the beginning of the year and we're kind of, we're looking at things with our household, where do we want to save money and so forth. And I always felt that with our homeowners insurance, I didn't have that nice connection. I didn't have that personal connection with anybody for my insurance. And Alan had come to our meetings at the office, had explained his product, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to call him. And I called him and I said, I actually emailed him. And it was literally a 2-line email, and he responded within later that night, maybe a couple hours, and he had a rate for me. He's like, I can save you $400. I can increase the coverage on your home because you're underinsured. And we live in Massachusetts, on Cape Cod, and they have this crazy wind deductible, so he was able to help us with that as well. She was talking, her sister lives in Hull, and he is from that area, and so she was having a problem with her insurance. I'm like, have her talk to Alan. So they connected. So Frank is amazing to work with. He answers your phone calls. He replies to your texts. It doesn't matter what type of question you have. He breaks it down so you can understand. I'm not a mortgage person. He's not a realtor. So he breaks it down that I can explain it to my clients. And if I don't really fully understand a question, I've actually conferenced him in with my clients while they've been on the phone. He comes to the open houses. He's at our office meetings all the time. He sends us weekly emails, like what's going on in the market and so forth. We've done a lot of videos together, so he's very open to that, which is great. So he is very useful and very helpful with just connecting all the dots.